a powerful Shona-speaking kingdom that dominated the northern plateau of Zimbabwe. The Mutapa state prospered through trade in gold and ivory, connecting with Swahili merchants along the East African coast and later with Portuguese traders. This early period laid the cultural and economic foundations for the region. By the 19th century, the site that would become Harare was home to Chief Neherawa, a local Shona leader. His village, located on a granite hill or kopi, was known as Harawa or Harun, a name derived from the Shona word Harari, meaning he who does not sleep, a reference to the chief's vigilance. The community was centered on agriculture, cattle herding, and traditional Shona customs. In the late 1830s, the region experienced upheaval due to the Ndebele migrations from the south, part of the broader Mfikane conflicts. While the Ndebele exerted influence over parts of the plateau, the Harare area remained largely under Shona control, preserving its cultural identity. On September 12, 1890, the British South Africa Company, BSAC, under the direction of Cecil Rhodes, dispatched the pioneer column to establish a colonial settlement. They founded Fort Salisbury on the site of Chief Neherawa's village, marking the beginning of British colonial rule in the region. The fort was named after the British Prime Minister, Lord Salisbury. Salisbury quickly grew into a colonial administrative and commercial center. It was declared a municipality in 1897, and the arrival of the railway from Beira, Mozambique in 1899 accelerated its development. The city became a hub for mining, agriculture, and trade, attracting settlers and investment. In 1923, Southern Rhodesia became a self-governing British colony, and Salisbury was confirmed as its capital. By 1935, it had achieved official city status, with expanding suburbs, government buildings, and European-style infrastructure. After World War II, Salisbury experienced rapid industrialization and urban expansion. It became part of the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland, 1953 to 1963, which brought further investment in infrastructure. Key institutions such as the University of Zimbabwe, 1957, and the International Airport, 1956, were established during this period. However, the city was also marked by racial segregation. Black residents were confined to townships like Highfield, with limited access to services and political representation. The 1940s and 1950s saw growing unrest, labor strikes, and the rise of nationalist leaders, including Robert Mugabe, who would later play a central role in Zimbabwe's independence movement. In 1965, Prime Minister Ian Smith declared Rhodesia's independence from Britain without majority rule, a move condemned internationally. Salisbury remained the capital during this period of isolation and escalating conflict, known as the Bush War or Second Kimurenga. After years of armed struggle, the Lancaster House Agreement in 1979 paved the way for democratic elections and the end of white minority rule. In 1980, Zimbabwe became an independent nation, and Robert Mugabe became its first prime minister. On April 18, 1982, the city was officially renamed Harare, in honor of Chief Neherawa. The renaming symbolized a break from colonial legacies and a return to indigenous heritage. The 1980s and early 1990s were marked by optimism and development. Harare saw improvements in education, healthcare, and housing. It hosted major international events, including the Non-Aligned Movement Summit, 1986, and the Commonwealth Heads of Government Meeting, 1991, where the Harare Declaration was signed, reaffirming democratic principles. From the mid-1990s, economic liberalization policies and controversial land reforms led to economic instability. The early 2000s brought hyperinflation, mass unemployment, and the forced evictions of Operation Murambatsvina in 2005. In 2017, Mugabe was ousted in a military intervention, and Emmerson Mnangagwa assumed power amid contested elections. Harare continues to face challenges, including political tension, economic hardship, and public health crises such as the cholera outbreak in 2023. Yet, the city remains Zimbabwe's political, commercial, and cultural heart, with a population of over 2 million. Landmarks include the Eastgate Center, the National Gallery, the University of Zimbabwe, and the new Parliament Complex in Mount Hampton, opened in 2023. Despite adversity, Harare hosts vibrant cultural events like the Harare International Festival of the Arts, HIFA, and ongoing efforts to revive its creative economy.